everyone, I'm Liz Merrick, and today we're going to be making a lollipop cake. Lollipop cakes are so super trendy right now, and they're so incredibly easy to make. The first thing we need to do is make our lollipops. So let's go ahead and get started. First thing we need to do, boil our sugar. Boiling sugar is fairly straightforward. You just heat sugar up to 300 degrees. This is called the hard crack stage, meaning that it's like sugar that's been cooked for so long that when you break it, it would have like a hard crack. It wouldn't bend, it wouldn't be like soft and sticky. So it's important that you have a candy thermometer to make sure that you're getting your sugar hot enough. Secondly, you're gonna need some distilled water or bottled water. This just doesn't have any impurities in it. Like your tap water can be really, it can have like minerals in it and stuff, and that will actually cause your sugar to get really yellow when it gets to that hard crack stage. So this will just help your sugar to be a lot clearer. And you gotta have some flavoring for your lollipops. I have watermelon. This is Loran Oil's watermelon candy flavoring. You can use whatever flavoring you like green apple or lemon or whatever you want. A couple drops is all you need. It goes a long way. Got some lollipop sticks, corn syrup, sugar. Okay, let's do this thing. I have a stainless steel pan, very clean. I made sure to like really polish it with a paper towel to make sure there's no gunk in there from my leftover dinner that's gonna burn up and make yucky things in your lollipops. I'm gonna put my water in, and I'm gonna sprinkle in my sugar. So one of the problems with making your own candy is always crystallization. Crystallization is basically when the sugar goes from being melted and it reforms crystals and makes your sugar really grainy. So you don't want to do that. To avoid crystallization, we're going to be adding a little bit of corn syrup. That's going to help a lot. And we're also going to be not stirring this. I know that's really weird, but you actually don't want to stir this sugar at all, or as little as possible, because any stirring is going to just agitate those crystals and make them want to grow. If you do stir, you want to use a stainless steel spoon so that it's the same sort of material as the pot. If you use like wooden or silicone, it can not only add impurities to your sugar, it can also cause it to have like a huge temperature change, which can also make it crystallize. So once this starts coming to a boil, you want to cover it for the first 5 minutes, and what that's going to do is it's going to cause the water to evaporate, and it's going to hit the top of the lid and the side, and it's going to condensate on the edges. And if there's any sort of sugar crystals that are stuck there on the edge, the water is going to kind of wash those back down into, you know, the mixture, so you don't have any crystallization happening. So just let this do its thing for 5 minutes. All right. That's looking good. Put my candy thermometer in here. We are at about 220 degrees. I'm cooking this on medium high. It's hard to say on an induction burner. Add in my corn syrup. So when you're making boiled sugar, it will stay at around 225 degrees for a little while, because that's at the temperature that the water is boiling. And if you look carefully, you can see the steam rising up. And this cannot get any hotter until all of that steam is gone. So it'll just kind of stay at this one spot for a little while until all the steam is gone, and then it will suddenly start raising in temperature. So it's really important to just keep your eye on this. Don't walk away and do the dishes or anything. You don't want to ruin your sugar, so just look at it. What I do need though is a bowl of ice water. Once this starts getting close to 300 degrees, it's gonna get there really fast. Like I'm literally just watching it climb. And as soon as it gets to 300, I'm gonna take it off the heat and immediately, not like totally submerge it, but just put the bottom of the pot into this ice water to stop it from getting any hotter. Okay. Very careful, super hot. Okay. And then just onto a towel. I'm gonna go ahead and take this thermometer out so that it doesn't accidentally fall out and like drip on me. That would be bad. Our sugar has a very, very slight yellowish tinge to it. That's totally normal, and that's just because it's made from pure sugar. If you were to use isomalt, it would be a lot clearer, but you can't eat large amounts of isomalt without getting some upset stomach problems, so it is better to use, you know, real sugar. I'm gonna add in just a couple of drops of my flavoring. You wanna do this at the end, and if you wanna add any sort of food coloring to make it colored, you totally can. We always do that at the end as well. Okay, I have a little silicone mat here. I like this one from Wilton because it's nice and smooth. Just gonna pour that on there. And you can stick your lollipop in there and just give it one little turn. Stick and turn. Stick. I'm gonna add some gold dragées to my little lollipops right here. And then you can actually color your sugar. Pour some into a separate little bowl here. If it starts to get too cold inside your pot, you can just pop that right back onto the heat and warm it up again. I like to pour them into silicone containers so that I can heat them up in the microwave. It's a lot easier. So this is just starting to get a little bit cold. I'm gonna add a couple drops of white food coloring. I'll pop that in the microwave for like 5 or 10 seconds. All right, and then this other one, I'm gonna do the very, very small amount of black. Just a little bit drizzle in there. And then add your little sticks, give them a turn. For the last one, I'm gonna be using some pretty gold leaf here. These are just gold leaf flakes. You can get them on Amazon. You could also use gold dust if you want. You can also put the leaf onto the silicone mat and then pour if you want. That one went a little wonky. It's just going in its own direction there. Okay, so now I'm gonna cover my cake. It's already been buttercreamed and smoothed out. If you need more information on how to make your first super smooth cake, check out my video on how to get super smooth buttercream edges or how to make your first cake. All right, I got my white fondant here. And I'm just gonna add a small drop of black Americolor gel food coloring. I'm just going to marble that color through, but I don't wanna mix it all the way through. I'm just gonna stop when I see a few streaks. And this is gonna mimic the look of our lollipops. I see a couple lines. I think that looks nice. Just make sure you keep dusting your fondant with powdered sugar or cornstarch, whichever one you prefer, so it doesn't get stuck to the table. Roll that up onto a rolling pin. I'm gonna come onto my cake. Oh yeah, that looks cool. And then when you're smoothing out your fondant, you just want to take wherever there's a ripple and just kind of smooth down with your hand. Just flatten. You're not pulling down, you're just flattening. I'm going to trim off the excess fondant. You can save that and use it for something else. I'm going to take a cake board, place it on top, and then just flip it over. Use a fondant smoother to just kind of smooth down all those edges. And I'm just gonna trim off any leftover fondant that's kind of up over that top edge. That way you have a nice clean edge of fondant and you don't see the edge of the cake board. I'm gonna put this cake board on top, flip it back over. And if you want to glue this cake down with a little bit of melted chocolate to help it from scooching around on the board, that's totally okay. I kind of like this line right here, so I think that's where I'm going to put my gold leaf. So I'm just going to get my fondant ever so slightly damp, just to make it a little bit tacky. I'm going to take some more of my little gold leaf specks. Just kind of press them on there. All right, I think that looks pretty nice. Very sophisticated. And now we can start putting on our lollipops. Once they're totally cool, they should just lift off pretty easy. Now I'm gonna lightly torch the back side because they're a little bit like cloudy on the back. So this just makes them a little bit more clear all the way through. That's much better. All right, so now I can start adding my lollipops. I'm gonna start with my marble one here. Oh, that looks gorgeous. And there is our finished lollipop cake. I think that turned out so super cute. I just have to find somebody to give this to.